Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Happy Sunday. Another week, another Sunday Sense. Lloyd Grant. Episode number 8. Time flies. Time flies, especially when you're having fun. No, not really. Not really. It's not fun. Hasn't been fun at all. A lot of things happening, but not only with me or everything around me. It's also in this beautiful country that we still have a lot of people trying to bring down. And, you know, sometimes I wish I can just come out here and give amazing news into everything that is happening and say, well, we are on the right track. But we're not. And that is a problem. We are not. And it's not like I'm a pessimist. I'm not at all. But I really hope that these 2 cents that I'm able to put every Sunday, I'm able and capable of opening some eyes into what the reality is that is happening in this country. Trying to fight a little bit what everybody receives day in and day out from the media. It is extremely worrisome. So that's the main reason why I am here. And every Sunday I try to open up some eyes. And if I'm able to change just one brainwash, I'll be happy. But let's continue to bet for the best, to work hard for the best, and try to realize what is needed and work hard into making this country the best possible for our kids. Not only for us. I mean, look, I'm already 42 years old. I don't really know how much more I can enjoy really and truly this country, but our kids are just babies and they have lifetime in front of them. And all I can hope is that the country changes for the best and they will be able to enjoy every second of it and continue to grow to be amazing ladies, amazing men. I mean, that is that is what we work for, am I right? That is exactly what we do everything we do. That is they are the core reason for all of this, including this podcast. So, is one of the interesting thing is my father was a lawyer, and for those that don't know me, um, and I didn't become a lawyer. I like law, I really do, but obviously I didn't become a lawyer. I think it was a big mistake from my part. I should have, and I tried to put that into my kids' heads, which I think is an amazing career, something that will allow them to help others and always try to do what is right attached to the Constitution and to the laws. Um, Unfortunately, nowadays there is a lot of mentality happening and a lot of things happening that go straight against what is or what is supposed to be the right interpretation of the law. And that's once again very worrisome, very worrisome. Some big corporations take advantage of this, and a lot of individuals take advantage of this. And that is something that I really hope that it changes as soon as possible because if we continue to just move forward with our feelings and not doing what is right and what the law requires us to do, we're going to be in trouble more than we already are. I have been a victim of those actions. It's kind of strange and unbelievable, but yeah, I mean, certain things that even the law uh, technically try to cover, or some people interpret the law as they're allowed to abuse others. And, you know, we need to fight that. And a perfect example of that is Trump. Trump. Trump is a very interesting case because, look, every week there is something new with him. Every week. Um, and I see it, I see two ways out of this, or reasons, or not probably reasons. I would say two advantages. One is the advantage for the Democratic side. The Democrats try to push into having him in court day in, day out, making sure now with those criminal cases into trying to keep him in court, so he's very limited in the amount of time he can spend going out on the road and trying to do his his political movements. They're trying to control him as much as possible, and that is really messed up. And the other side, it shows that Democrats are losing control. They're losing control and they don't know what else to do. And keeping somebody in court that is as important and potentially the next president of this country again is very worrisome. It is very worrisome because, look, obviously, when all of this happens and the way that it's happening is very specific cities, states are the ones that are doing this. Not every city, not every state. Even though he has businesses in a million places, there is always two or three cities always doing the same. And it doesn't matter how they try to paint it. It's messed up. It's really messed up. But he's playing into his hand too. Look, here we are talking about it. And that is the same thing that is happening everywhere. Every single media, every single TV channel, everything, everybody is talking about Trump and his court cases. The amount of money expended to work on publicity, to the results of having his name on TV 24/7, 365 days a year, I think is extremely good for Trump. And, like it or not, they're playing that hand and he's working on his favor up to a certain point. Look, I don't think we need to analyze deeply. For example, this hush trial going on in New York is this hush payment trial is kind of crazy because this is going to open up a can of worms. And basically, what, in my personal opinion, is going to happen is a bunch of other people that have received payments, or other people that have come to some kind of an agreement with NDAs and all this stuff. They're gonna come back to court and they're going to say, and that is if Trump loses, everybody's gonna have something to grab themselves from and try to sue after. So the courts better be prepared to be very busy after this case. I strongly believe that he will get one way or another punished again and again and again, and the ruling is going to be against him. But there is always appeals, and there is always Supreme Court, and there is always a long process. But and they know it. They know it. The only thing is time. Time is something that is working on the Democrat side. And that time is whatever they can keep Trump out of going around into his speeches and everything else is in their mentality is working out. Once again, I think it's backfiring in the sense of publicity wise. I think it's giving more strength and it's opening up a lot of eyes into people. People are realizing once again that all of this is completely messed up, and I haven't met anybody that have gone through all of that in such a short amount of time. And we all know people that have done things way worse, and it's not happening to them. So yeah, this is they're hunting him down. They are. As a matter of fact, today I was reading the news, and they're trying to pass a bill to take away his Secret Service protection uh, if he gets a ruling as guilty on any of those criminal charges and judgments. Is He's very messed up. He's very messed up, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But they're playing with fire. They're playing with fire because one is trying to say, well, you have to take away Secret Service from protecting a president that technically just left office, still have a lot of information on the country, a lot of confidential information that can be harmful for the country. And obviously, it opens up a can of worms again. Is, them trying to kidnap him or something, and other countries are trying to get more information from us. And then what? I mean, everybody says the risk, that his life will run if they take away his Secret Service protection. Uh, I don't believe that would be the case as bad as another force, another potential enemy trying to kidnap him and get information that obviously is going to be very useful for them. So look, taking away Secret Service protection from a very recent president is a national security issue, and they're very dumb for even talking about it. I don't think it's going to happen again, but it is very, very dumb. Is like most of the things that are happening nowadays, extremely dumb. And then if you see who's doing it, who's trying to pass this bill, the same people that omitted a lot of information about what happened on January 6th. Same people that try to manipulate and do this whole show on TV, and you know, same people. Same people that do whatever they want to do, proven that they have hidden information from people, they have lied, and nothing happens. There is no court, no lawyer, no state attorney, no nothing going against them. Looks like they're untouchable, and that happens on both. There are Republicans in there too. Don't you think it's only Democrats? So it's very very worrisome. We really and truly need both parties to get it together and start doing what is right for this country. Not only Republicans. I mean, Democrats should step it up too. And I think it slowly is happening. Uh, there are a couple people that are in very important positions, are Democrats as well, and they're moving on into doing what is right. And I think it's going to take a little bit for everybody to open up their eyes, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it will happen, and hopefully happen soon. Look, for example, one of the things that are very eye-opening is the Poland's president. He came, I think it was last week, or this week actually, and he basically went to visit Trump in New York. They met up with him, and they started talking about all the things happening in Ukraine, and obviously the Polish president was very vocal about the fact of hoping that NATO itself does more to help Ukraine, to stop Russia. I mean, that's their opinion. And Trump actually threw something very interesting in that conversation, which is it should have the money that we have given Ukraine should it be done as a loan, not as a white blank check, like there you go, enjoy. By now, I think it's going to be $160 billion. Wow, wow, that's all I can say. Wow. I don't know this new bill, what is going to be attached to, or what exactly they're expecting for Ukraine to show, or if it's going to be the same thing as it happened until now, which is basically a blank check. And if anybody asks, hey, what happened with that money? Everybody's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like asking a little kid, hey, did you eat the candy? Or who ate that candy? I don't know. But they took it. So it's really messed up. And it's such an amount of money that, look, we're talking about billions. Billions. I mean, it's so hard to make 1 million. Yes, with an M. 1 million. And these people just giving away money like nothing. Until now, 100 million, a billion, another 60 billions coming up to Ukraine. I can't comprehend that. I can't. Because, look, I don't think Russia has invested that amount of money in the war at all. And obviously, they're being successful because you have Zelensky crying for more money. So they have been successful, like it or not. Obviously, they have been successful. And Zelensky, obviously, always crying for more and more and more money, shows that they're in a pretty uncomfortable position, and most probably losing position, and that's why he keep asking for more money. But once again, if you have a Russia, which once I don't believe they have invested 160 billion in their war. I don't think so. But even if they did, they're doing it better than Ukraine. And Ukraine has no excuse because Ukraine has the backing of a bunch of countries. Russia is by themselves, basically. And, this war is very strange. If you actually see online Kiev and other cities, or even cities inside of Russia, they look like there is open business 24/7. And I think Russia, with all the capabilities, and we all know they're capable of nuking and attacking anybody, whatever they want, the same as us and the same as China and possibly India and other countries and England and so on. So you see them and they're just having this war localized in certain areas, okay, or Donbass, etc., etc. So it's interesting because they're not expanding. They're not doing what they're capable of doing, which is attacking Ukraine inside of the core and really and truly attacking Zelensky and stuff. Which, I mean, it doesn't take much. Ukraine is not that big. It doesn't take much to be able to cause a lot of pain for a power like Russia inside of Ukraine, but they're not doing it, and Ukraine is not doing it inside of Russia either. So this is like playing the long game, and obviously nobody wins in this long game. Nobody's winning. One way or another, some people are performing better than others, but nobody's winning. A lot of lives are being lost on both sides, and yes, both sides count. Both sides hurt. Both sides. Listen, war is not pretty. Never been, never will be. And one life lost, it doesn't matter where it comes from, is painful. It's very painful because that guy or that girl that died fighting for their country was a son or a daughter of somebody. And that hurts. That hurts. And, obviously, if there was a way to stop this, it should have happened a long time ago. And I don't think that continuing to give money is going to fix anything. What I think is going to do is going to delay this process of peace. Nobody's coming up with ideas, nobody's coming up with agreements because they continue to receive billions of dollars. You continue to see, and yes, I am going to give you my opinion about Zelensky. You still see Zelensky going around the world dressed like in tactical clothing when everybody's in suits, trying to, I don't know, like he's going to war inside of the UN or inside of the White House is or inside of the Senate. Like, come on, Congress, Senate, all of these, or just flying the Ukraine flag. That should be prohibited. It's like somebody comes and flies the Russian flag inside of our Senate or Congress. Like, come on, man. Like what is wrong with us? That shouldn't be happening. There shouldn't be any kind of flags flying but the United States flag inside of our federal buildings. That should be the only flag. And I don't get it. That reminds me to a very interesting subject, which is the protests. So many protests going on, pro-Palestinian protests, and most of these people protesting have masks on, their faces are completely covered, and they're flying obviously the flag from everywhere but the United States. The only flags that you see around for the United States are being burned down. And how is that not considered a hatred act? Is mind blowing. It is mind blowing. Yes, I understand you have the First Amendment and everything else, but if you try to burn a LGBTQ flag or a transgender flag or anything like that, will be considered a hate crime immediately. As a matter of fact, I remember a truck that was driving on the street and started doing donuts or burnt tires or something on a painted on the asphalt. They painted a transgender flag, and that guy was accused with a hate crime. It's just insane. If it happens to one side, it should happen to all of the sides. All right. Look, and I do have a lot of gay friends. I have transgender friends. I have straight friends. Some of my friends are kind of strange. I would even believe they're aliens. I do have illegal aliens friends. Look, all joking aside, it is what it is. We're human. We all have rights, and obviously, we shouldn't be stepping on anybody. That is not the right way of conducting life. We should respect each other. It doesn't matter what you believe or what you want or what you like. And we also need to understand the barriers. And I've spoken about this in my previous podcasts. People also need to understand that even though I respect what everybody think, I hope they respect me as well, and they respect my kids, and they respect my religion, which is something that is not working correctly nowadays. Everybody wants to pull to their side, except for certain religions. Certain religions are very straightforward in the sense of, look, this is what we believe is right, this is what we believe is wrong, but yet you're entitled to do whatever you want to do with your life. And that's the approach that I take. I do not believe that we should be forcing people to do other things, that they don't want to do, especially if you're older than 18. Younger than 18, a lot of those actions should be considered crimes. But after 18, by all means, legally, not mentally, legally. Let me get this clear. I don't think that at 18 years old, anybody is capable to understand what is right and what is wrong yet. Their minds are not fully developed, and they're still very manipulable. They are. And I don't think 18 is the right age, not even to vote. But that's my opinion. Even though the law allows them to believe that they are already mature enough to make their own decisions, then let's be it. Am I right? So it should be at 18 when they're able to do any drastic changes to their bodies and make themselves responsible for such decisions. Parents should not get in the middle of that at that moment, but parents should be getting in the middle all the way to 18 into not allowing any drastic changes onto them. Listen, we're all created by God, and that's what I believe. Doesn't matter if we want to believe in science only or not, or that's irrelevant. It is important that we believe in a superior person, because if we don't, once again, I've said this before, we'll be lost. Our life will be completely lost. And I strongly believe we have a path that we have to go in life. God's timing is perfect. And sometimes I'm guilty of hoping that time, arrives already. And sometimes I get too desperate, hoping and thinking that why is it taking so long? And sometimes I feel it's unfair. But I guess it's just part of life and the communication that we are supposed to have with God, am I right? But nevertheless, we continue to look forward and we continue to believe that the best part of life and that timing comes sooner than later. But being that said, some parents that do not believe in that, and it kind of goes against what I'm saying up to a certain point, because if God's timing is perfect, why some parents' decisions on their kids, especially on them changing their sex drastically, which is a drastic decision, will be considered nothing but God's timing. So yes, that can possibly be seen as a different approach of what I'm saying. But it could be that God has a plan in which the plan is for this family to go through this. They have done something before, and now they're heading into this drastic change, something that will affect their lives forever. And that was needed to teach them something that only God and them know, if they know. Or if it is something in previous life, if we believe in previous lives, like, Hindus do, and many other civilizations, but is just the way that I see things. And we can always hope that whatever God decides on us is in our favor. That's, not only because there is something that He has to teach us, but it's on something, that will be fortunate and it will work out for us, even though sometimes we tend to believe that it's not. But I'm sorry I derailed a little bit. We were talking about the flags and the burning of certain symbols, and it's really messed up. You see some satanic churches and religions that they praise the devil, and as much as we understand that the devil obviously is not the right figure to follow, they do, and they believe in it, and they actually attack other religions like Christians, Judaism, or even Muslims, or whatever it is. That they just go at it with everything they have, and they're not accused of any kind of hate crime, but it just works, I guess, on the media convenience, and that is really wrong. If we're going to choose one side is okay, let's all head that way. We cannot be at this point saying, well, this side is okay and this side is not, and don't you dare going that way. But who decides that it's not? The same people that decide that this other side is okay decide that this is not, even though it's the same thing. It's just on their convenience, and that is something that needs to stop. It's sad. It's really sad to see that we're heading into something once again that needs changing ASAP. It does. And once again, we can only hope that this comes very, very soon. Very soon. Not some changes are always were expected. And for example, in the case of Trump that he had against Letitia, I don't know if you guys remember Letitia James, um, she actually requested the judge to cancel what the appeals court had decided to bring down the bond to 100 and something million dollars. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because, you know, it wouldn't amaze me if the judge says, okay, we already know this case was completely upside down. It wouldn't amaze me if the judge says, okay, I don't know how much power he has to do so, but it wouldn't amaze me. But it's also funny to see that you read on the news left and right. Trump's lawyer requested this, Trump's lawyer requested that, and everything gets denied. Everything gets denied. So even for him to be able to take away the day of his son's high school graduation, Barron's high school graduation, the judge didn't say no, but basically, why would you manage something so important and delicate to somebody like that? Something that only happens once in a lifetime, am I right? You only graduate from high school once. And tell them, well, we'll see what happens when the day comes, and I'm not gonna say yes or no. That's that's I mean, that's trying to play God, trying to play the father figure. A judge shouldn't be conducting himself like that. A judge should have empathy on whatever it is. If we apply the rule that you're innocent until proven guilty, you should have some kind of an empathy, especially in a case in which we're not talking about, that somebody died or anything. Is very unfair. It's very unfair that somebody can conduct themselves that way and have such little regard for others. And I can only hope that he corrects and that the judge does what is right and takes into consideration the fact that this is an important date and he should be allowed, period. He should be allowed. Based on the kind of trial he's going through and everything else, he should be allowed. And if he wants to put timelines, from this time to this time that the graduation occurs, you have to be there and then you have to come to court. I mean, there is a million ways that he can handle it if he cared, if he wanted to do what's right. We will see. We will see what happens. I don't know. I mean, look, from any of those judges, I really don't expect much being right, done right. I really don't. And the reason is the way that everything has been approached is wrong. It's completely wrong, in my personal opinion. Hey, but once again, I didn't become a lawyer, and obviously, I'm no judge. So I try to be as fair and open. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who's involved. I always try to put my Sunday sense into it and put that balance and where it's right in the middle into trying to see, okay, this is right, this is not, and this is the way it should be done. And judges should do the same. They are there to play a very important role into making sure that everything happens correctly. And unfortunately, they're not doing it. I don't know. I don't know what is going to come up from all of this. I don't know what is going to happen in November. But I can only hope that once again, and I continue to say it, and I will never stop, that we get a drastic change. That this country needs to continue to move forward for our kids. A change that will make everything fair again. We'll see. We'll see. I still have a lot of faith in the justice system. I really do. I really do. This country deserves the best, and there's a lot of people that are quiet back there doing what is right. And I think these are the people that are going to save our nation from here on. So I'll continue to think that God timing is right and that everything is working as God plans it. That's what I believe. I think I extended more than what I have done lately, but it was important to speak about all of this. I think it's just trying to recapitulate everything that has happened during the week and to bring in some people that, hey, it might be that some of you don't look at the news and don't follow much and just listen to this podcast to see what is going on in certain topics. If there is anything that you would like to hear about that of your interest or something that you would like me to talk about, let me know. I do spend a lot of time reading the news and everything else, so I can open up into a lot of subjects. I don't know if you notice, I'm very opinion individual. Um, and I don't think about it twice whenever I need to say something. I once again try to be as objective as possible, but yes, obviously, sometimes I am biased because it's only fair, believe it or not. Even though it's kind of an oxymoron to believe that just by being biased is the right thing to do. But it is, because sometimes one side is so wrong that I have to be biased because it's so wrong. And obviously, that needs to be brought up and fixed immediately. So that's why I am who I am, and that's the way I approach things. But when somebody is wrong. And listen, that's just who I am. For now, thank you. Thank you for dedicating some time. If you made it to, I don't know, like, I'm guessing at 30 something minutes in my podcast, thank you. Thank you for dedicating that time. That's a very valuable time that you have. And once again, thank you for spending it with me. God bless you and God bless us all. I am over and out.